The blizzard had descended on Colony Station Epsilon without warning, turning the red Martian sky into a swirling white nightmare. Avery pulled his thermal coat tighter as he made his way through the outer dome sector, cursing himself for volunteering to check the atmospheric regulators during such brutal weather. That's when he heard a sound that didn't belong in the howling wind, a chirping, desperate and small, cutting through the storm like a distress beacon. Avery turned, squinting through his visor, and froze. Huddled against the base of a heat exchanger was a creature no bigger than a house cat. Its scales shimmered with an iridescent blue-green pattern, but they were coated in frost. Two tiny wings, translucent and delicate, were wrapped around its body in a futile attempt at warmth. The creature's eyes, intelligent, pleading eyes, locked onto Avery's. "What in the ... Avery whispered, approaching slowly. The creature chirped again, its whole body shivering violently. Every xenobiology class Avery had taken screamed warnings in his head. Unknown species, potential disease vectors, possible aggressive behavior, but those eyes held something unmistakably sentient, something that understood it was dying. Avery made his decision in seconds. He shed his thermal coat and wrapped the freezing creature inside, feeling its ice-cold body against his chest as he tucked it into his shirt. The creature's shivering began to slow as it absorbed his body heat. "Hold on, little guy," Avery muttered, running back toward the habitat modules. "You brought WHAT into our quarters." Kate's voice rose an octave as she stared at the creature now curled on their heating pad, wrapped in emergency thermal blankets. "I couldn't just leave it out there," Avery protested, watching as the creature's scales slowly regained their luster. "It would have died." Kate, the colony's xenobiologist, moved closer despite her initial alarm. Her scientific curiosity was already overriding her shock. "Avery, I've never seen anything like this in any database. Those wing structures, the scale composition. If I didn't know better, I'd say this looks like a dragon," Avery finished. "I know it sounds crazy." The creature opened its eyes and chirped softly, looking at both of them with what could only be described as gratitude. It struggled to its feet, still wobbly, and dipped its small head toward Avery in an unmistakable gesture of respect. "Did it just bow?" Kate whispered. Over the next few days, the creature whom Avery had named Ember recovered rapidly. It became clear that Ember was far more intelligent than either human had anticipated. She learned to respond to her name, seemed to understand basic commands, and displayed problem-solving abilities that rivaled some Earth primates. But on the 7th day, everything changed. Avery woke to a strange humming vibration that seemed to resonate through the entire colony. Emergency alarms hadn't triggered, but something massive was happening. He rushed to the observation deck and his jaw dropped. A ship hung in the Martian sky, but calling it a ship was like calling a city a house. It was enormous, elegant, its hull comprised of what looked like crystallized starlight, and it was descending toward Colony Station Epsilon. "Avery," Kate's voice crackled over his cum, "get to the main airlock now, and bring Ember." When Avery arrived, breathless, with Ember perched on his shoulder, he found the entire colony leadership assembled. The airlock was opening. What stepped through made every human present take an involuntary step backward. The being stood nearly 3 meters tall, its body covered in scales that shifted through a rainbow of colors. Massive wings, folded against its back, seemed to contain entire nebulae within their membrane. Its face was distinctly draconic, elegant, ancient, and terrifyingly powerful. Yet it wore something resembling diplomatic robes, and its eyes held the same intelligence Avery had seen in Ember's. When it spoke, its voice resonated directly in their minds. A form of telepathy that needed no translation. "I am Keltherios, matriarch of the Draconide Empire. I have crossed 3 star systems searching for my daughter." The massive being's gaze fell on Ember, and something like relief flooded through the telepathic link. "You have found her," Ember chirped and launched herself from Avery's shoulder, truly flying for the first time. Into her mother's waiting claws, Colony Director Hamza stepped forward, diplomatic training overriding his shock. "Your daughter was freezing in our storm. One of our colonists saved her life." Keltheros's eyes found Avery, and he felt the full weight of an ancient, powerful intelligence examining him. "You are the one called Avery." "Why, yes, ma'am. I mean, Your Majesty." Avery stammered. "You showed compassion to a creature you did not know, in conditions that endangered your own life." Keltherios lowered her massive head to Avery's eye level. "You, humans, are young in the cosmic span, barely reaching beyond your own planet. Yet you possess something rare, the instinct to protect the helpless, even when it defies logic." She straightened, addressing the entire assembly. "The Draconid Empire has watched humanity's expansion with interest. We have seen species rise and fall across millennia. Most prioritize survival above all else. But your kind, ... She looked back at Avery. Your kind stops in a blizzard to save the unknown. Keltherios extended one massive claw, and Avery instinctively reached out. Their hands, human and dragon, met in an ancient gesture of alliance. Humanity sought the stars alone, Keltherios announced, but you need not walk them alone anymore. The Draconite Empire offers humanity partnership, protection, and friendship among the elder races. One human boy's kindness has earned his entire species a place among the stars. Ember chirped happily from her mother's shoulder, and Avery could swear she winked at him. As Keltherios explained the technologies, knowledge, and opportunities that would now open to humanity. Avery felt Kate squeeze his hand. You just changed the course of human history by being a decent person, she whispered. Avery looked at Ember, remembering her pleading eyes in the storm. I just couldn't leave her in the cold, and perhaps, in the end, that was the most human thing of all.